Hi, I'm Zara. I've always been the ambitious one in my family, the workaholic who missed birthdays and barbecues because I was climbing the corporate ladder. Tonight was supposed to be different. I'd promised my mother I'd attend the monthly family dinner, no excuses. Zara, you actually made it, my Aunt Diane exclaimed, pulling me into a tight hug as I entered her home. Her voice carried that familiar lilt of surprise whenever I showed up to family functions. Wouldn't miss it, Aunt Di. Sorry about last month. The Thompson account had me working overtime. Always with the excuses, she said, patting my cheek. But you're here now. Come meet Maya's new boyfriend. They've been together 6 months already. I raised an eyebrow. 6 months? And this is the first I'm hearing about him? Well, if you answered your phone more often. Aunt Diane winked. Uncle Richard appeared from the kitchen, wiping his hands on a dish towel. The prodigal niece returns. How's life treating you at that fancy company of yours? Busy, but good. Just closed a major acquisition last week. Still don't understand what you actually do there, he chuckled, his deep voice rumbling. Something with numbers and meetings, right? Something like that, I smiled, not wanting to launch into explaining my role as Chief Operations Officer at Vertex Solutions. Maya bounced into the room, pulling a tall man behind her. Zara, you came. This is Ethan. I extended my hand. Nice to meet you, Ethan. He gave my hand a limp shake, eyes scanning me from head to toe. So you're the famous cousin. Maya says you're some kind of big shot at a tech company. I do all right, I replied, immediately noticing his dismissive tone. Ethan works in marketing, Maya gushed. He's amazing at his job. Which company? I asked politely. Vertex Solutions, he answered, puffing out his chest. Maybe you've heard of it? We're pretty much revolutionizing the industry. My stomach dropped. I maintained my smile with effort. I'm familiar with them. I just started 6 months ago, but I'm already in line for promotion, Ethan continued, his voice taking on a lecturing tone. Most people don't understand how marketing drives everything. Is that so? I kept my voice neutral. Dinner's ready, Aunt Diane called from the dining room. As we settled around the table, Uncle Richard asked, So, Ethan, how did you and Maya meet? Coffee shop, Maya answered, gazing adoringly at Ethan. I spilled my latte all over his expensive shoes. And I forgave her, Ethan added with a smirk. I'm generous that way. Zara, pass the potatoes, Uncle Richard said. Tell us about this acquisition you mentioned. Before I could answer, Ethan cut in. Let me guess. Another tech company buying out the competition? That's all these places do. Real innovation happens in marketing. Actually, I began. Trust me, Ethan continued, talking over me. I see it every day. The executives at my company wouldn't know innovation if it hit them in the face. They're all about spreadsheets and quarterly reports. Maya laughed nervously. Ethan, maybe let Zara talk about her work? What? I'm just saying what everyone knows. He shrugged, shoveling food into his mouth. Corporate types are all the same. No offense, Zara, but you probably push papers all day while people like me generate actual value. Uncle Richard cleared his throat. Ethan, in this family, It's fine, I interrupted, locking eyes with Ethan. I'm curious. Tell me more about what you do at Vertex, specifically. The next morning, I called my assistant the moment I reached my office. Morgan, I need everything we have on an Ethan Miller in marketing. He started about 6 months ago. The new social media coordinator? Morgan asked, her voice curious. Give me 5 minutes. True to her word, Morgan appeared in my doorway moments later. Here's his file. Is there a problem? Possibly. Close the door, please. Morgan sat across from me, notepad ready. What's going on? I met Ethan last night at a family dinner. He's dating my cousin. Oh! Morgan's eyes widened. And I'm guessing he didn't know who you are? Not a clue. Spent the entire evening telling me how useless executives are while bragging about his position here. Morgan winced. That's unfortunate timing for him. What's his performance like? Average at best. His supervisor, Natalie, has noted some concerns about his attitude and collaboration skills. I drummed my fingers on my desk. Get Natalie in here, please, and the head of HR. 30 minutes later, Natalie, Chen, and David from HR sat in my office. Thanks for coming on short notice, I began. I need to discuss Ethan Miller. Natalie sighed. What's he done now? That sounds concerning, I noted. Care to elaborate? He's technically competent, but his attitude is problematic, Natalie explained, her precise, measured tone reflecting her analytical approach. He takes credit for team efforts and undermines colleagues, especially female team members. Has this been documented? David nodded. We've had 3 separate complaints about inappropriate comments. He's been given 1 formal warning. And his response? Defensive, Natalie replied. Claims everyone is too sensitive. Insists he's just telling it like it is. I leaned back in my chair. I met him yesterday. He's dating my cousin. Oh. Natalie and David exchanged glances. He had no idea who I was and spent the evening insulting my profession and company leadership. David cleared his throat. That's awkward, but not necessarily grounds for action. I agree, I replied firmly. I'm not suggesting anything improper. I simply want to understand if there's a pattern here. There definitely is, Natalie said. Just yesterday, he interrupted me repeatedly during a presentation. When I called him on it, he said, and I quote, "No offense, but I've been in this industry for 6 months, and I already know more than most of you." Has his probationary review been conducted yet? I asked. Scheduled for next week, David confirmed. I'd like to sit in, I said. As an observer only. Given the documented issues, it seems appropriate for senior management to be involved. Of course, Natalie nodded. But Zara, what about your cousin? This could get uncomfortable. I paused, considering. Let me handle that part. For now, please don't mention our connection. After they left, I called my friend Lisa, who had worked at Vertex longer than anyone. Lisa, I need your perspective on something sensitive. Shoot, she replied, her voice carrying its usual no-nonsense tone. It's about an employee named Ethan Miller. Lisa groaned. The marketing guy who thinks he's God's gift to advertising? That's the one. He's dating my cousin. Yikes, Lisa said. Does he know you're his boss's boss's boss? Not yet. I'm trying to figure out how to handle this. The following Friday, I attended Maya's birthday dinner at an upscale restaurant downtown. I'd barely sat down when Ethan started in. Well, the busy executive graces us with her presence, he said, smirking. No emergencies at the office tonight? Not tonight, I replied calmly. How's work going for you, Ethan? Killing it as usual, he bragged, slinging his arm around Maya. Though management is clueless as always. My review is next week, and I'm going to school them on how we should be running campaigns. Maya beamed. Ethan's got amazing ideas. His boss just doesn't appreciate him. Maybe his boss has reasons, I suggested mildly. Ethan scoffed. Please, Natalie's just threatened by my expertise. And the executives? They wouldn't recognize talent if it danced in front of them. Uncle Richard intervened. Let's not talk shop all night. It's Maya's birthday. You're right, Ethan agreed, raising his glass. To Maya, the best thing that ever happened to me. Unlike some people, she actually supports my career. I caught the dig, but smiled. Happy birthday, Maya. Later, as dessert arrived, Ethan continued his tirade about work. So this CO, some woman named Zara, is supposedly sitting in on my review. Probably doesn't even understand what I do. Maya froze mid-bite. Wait, what did you say? My review. Some executive is attending. Trying to intimidate me, I guess. Maya looked at me, eyes wide. Ethan, what's the name of your company again? Vertex Solutions, why? And the COO's name? Zara something, who cares? Just another corporate drone. Maya put down her fork. Ethan, this is my cousin Zara. She works at Vertex. Ethan laughed. Yeah, right. She's not the COO. I pulled out my business card and slid it across the table. Actually, I am. The color drained from Ethan's face as he read the card. This is a joke, right? No joke, I replied calmly. I've been with Vertex for 8 years. COO for the last 3? Ethan's expression morphed from shock to anger. You've been setting me up this whole time? Trying to get dirt on me? Not at all, I said evenly. Until yesterday, I had no idea who you were at the company. Bullshit, he snapped, voice rising. You've been playing me. Maya touched his arm. Ethan, calm down. He jerked away. Did you know about this? Is this some kind of family ambush? I had no idea, Maya insisted, looking between us. Ethan, I said firmly, no one has been setting you up, but your behavior tonight, and at my aunt's house, is concerning given your professional role. You can't use personal conversations against me, he hissed, leaning across the table. That's completely unprofessional. I agree, I nodded, which is why I haven't. Your review is based solely on your work performance. This is ridiculous, he sputtered, standing up abruptly. I'll have HR on you for this. You can't threaten me. I haven't threatened you, I replied, keeping my voice calm. But you might want to reconsider your tone. Or what? He challenged, voice rising. You'll fire me? Try it. I'll sue this whole family. The restaurant had gone quiet. Uncle Richard stood up. Son, you need to calm down. Don't tell me what to do, old man, Ethan shouted. Your niece is trying to ruin my career because she's jealous of my relationship with Maya. Maya looked mortified. Ethan, stop it. You're making a scene. I'm making a scene, he laughed bitterly. Your cousin has been spying on me for months. That's impossible, I stated firmly. I didn't even know you existed until last week. He pointed a finger at me. You'll regret this. I promise you'll regret crossing me. Aunt Diane, who had been quietly observing, finally spoke up. Ethan, that sounds like a threat. Is that how you speak to women who disagree with you? Stay out of this, he snapped. This is between me and her. No, Maya interjected, her voice shaking. This is about how you're behaving right now, in public, at my birthday dinner. Oh, so you're taking her side? Ethan demanded, turning on Maya. There aren't sides here, I said firmly. Just professional consequences for professional behavior. Professional? Nothing about this is professional. He grabbed his jacket from the back of his chair. You'll be hearing from my lawyer. Monday morning, my office phone rang at 9 a.m. sharp. Zara, it's David from HR. We need to talk about Friday night. You heard? 3 different customers from the restaurant filed complaints. They recognized the Vertex name being shouted and contacted customer relations. I sighed. That's exactly what I was afraid of. There's more, David continued. Ethan sent threatening emails to Natalie and several others claiming you're orchestrating a conspiracy against him. Forward those to legal, please. Already done. His review is in 30 minutes. Are you still coming? Absolutely. When I entered the conference room, Ethan was already seated with Natalie and David. His expression darkened when he saw me. Good morning, I said professionally. Is this really necessary? Ethan demanded. Having the COO at my review? As I mentioned Friday, I'm only here as an observer, I explained. Natalie opened his file. Let's begin. Ethan, your technical skills meet expectations, but we have serious concerns about your teamwork and professional conduct. This is a setup, he interrupted. She's poisoned you against me. He jabbed a finger toward me. Ethan, David said firmly. These concerns predate any connection with Miss Reynolds. We have documented incidents from your first month of employment. Let me see them, he demanded. Natalie slid over several printed emails. Multiple colleagues have reported disrespectful behavior. As Ethan scanned the complaints, his face reddened. These are taken out of context. I was joking. Additionally, David continued, we've received reports about your behavior at Rosario's restaurant on Friday night. You made threatening statements against a Vertex executive in public. That was personal, not professional. You specifically referenced the company by name and your position here, Natalie countered. Multiple witnesses confirm this. And this morning, David added, you sent emails violating our harassment policy. Ethan slammed his hand on the table. This is all her fault. She's using her position to attack me because she doesn't like me dating her cousin. I remained silent as David spoke. Ethan, Based on your conduct during probation and these recent incidents, we're terminating your employment, effective immediately. You can't fire me, he shouted. I'll sue. You're welcome to consult an attorney, David replied calmly, but your threats and behavior are well documented. After security escorted Ethan out, Maya called me. Is it true? Did you fire him? The company terminated him based on his behavior and performance, I clarified. I wasn't the decision maker. He says you orchestrated everything because you don't like him, she said, her voice wavering. Maya, I didn't even know he worked for me until last week. His problems at Vertex started long before I knew he existed. He says you're lying. Ask yourself this. Whose behavior have you actually witnessed? A pause. He did explode at the restaurant. And at your mother's house, he repeatedly insulted my profession and company leadership, to my face, without knowing who I was. Another long silence. He's been texting me nonstop, saying terrible things about you. What do you think that says about his character? I don't know what to believe anymore, she admitted. I understand. Take your time, but know that I never set out to hurt you or interfere in your relationship. His actions led to his own consequences. 2 weeks later, Maya and I met for coffee. I broke up with him, she said immediately. After I saw those emails he sent, I couldn't justify it anymore. Are you okay? I asked gently. Getting there, she nodded. I'm sorry I doubted you. It's natural to defend someone you care about. The things he said about you. She shuddered. And the way he behaved when he found out who you were, that revealed his true character? I smiled sympathetically. Sometimes people show us exactly who they are, if we're paying attention. Do you think he learned anything from this? She asked. That's up to him, I replied. But I'm more concerned about you. Are you moving forward? Maya stirred her coffee thoughtfully. You know what's strange? Looking back, I can see all the warning signs now. The way he talked about his female colleagues. How he always needed to be the smartest person in the room. Hindsight makes patterns clearer, I offered. He called yesterday, she admitted. Wanted another chance. What did you tell him? I said that respect isn't negotiable and neither are consequences. She smiled with newfound confidence. I think I learned that from you. One day at a time, she said, raising her coffee cup. To family, the ones who tell you hard truths and still have your back afterward. I clinked my cup against hers. Always. Have you ever had someone underestimate you, only to discover too late who you really were? Share your story in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe for more real-life revenge tales.